And now we go into Honeybee. We go into Honeybee energy modeling. And we do a very simple test, which is the annual Honeybee annual loads. So this is a very simple calculation, but it's really good to start because we use just the core, pretty much only the core components of Honeybee, and then some of the tools within Honeybee Energy. So there is, when you look here, you can see there's Honeybee. These are the core components. This is like building your model and then and organize it, and then you have Honeybee Energy, where you do the energy calculation, and you prepare your model for energy calculation. And then you have Honeybee Radiance, which is really just dealing with the daylight studies and stuff like that. Okay, we need rooms. For some of these studies, you need a model, you need a butterfly Honeybee model, which consists of rooms. But for this particular Energy Plus annual loads study, we only need rooms. So what are rooms? Rooms are, you know what a room is? A room in a building. And that can be very simple. It's just actually just a box. I have this model here, which consists of these boxes, and they're just stacked on each other and placed next to each other. I allowed for a height. Basically, these are my floor levels, and allow for a height of 4 meters. So it's just a very simple geometry. It doesn't have to be like that, but I think it's good to show in a way. I think it's showed on a simple model first. How to create rooms. So for rooms, we need to go into the Honeybee core components, and there is, if you click here, and you can see what it's called, what these symbols are. And here's one. It's called Honeybee Room from Solid. So we use this one. And here it says, so in theory you could do this. Of course, that will not work. And then we need what else do we need? What else is mandatory? Mandatory is the underscore on the front. We need the weather file. So for the weather file, we need Ladybug, and we use the download, the weather URL download. We need a panel here, and then we connect this to here. And we also need the search. To search for it, to search for the weather map, the weather data. This is wrong. So we need a toggle, and we can click here, and it brings us to the map with the weather data, and we can choose anything. Let's choose Berlin. I haven't chosen Berlin ever. Copy. I like this best. Copy link to clipboard, because it just does everything for me, and then we just place it here. Control V. And then if this turns gray, then it should be fine. And then we have we will leave all the other things off for now. It's really just getting the basics right. But just to know, for you to better understand what is the output of this. So the output is here, report the total load. It gives you basically a list of numbers for the 4 to 5 output load terms normalized by the floor area of the input rooms in units. The units are kilowatt hours per square meter, and they are ordered as follows: cooling, heating, lighting, electricity equipment, gas equipment, if the input room have it. So if there's information about the gas equipment in the rooms. For better understanding, this works in a way similar to BIM geometry, because here we only have a box, but Honeybee turns the box into a more smarter geometry and adds information to that geometry. So okay, we can place also a panel here if we want. Put the load here, and then we can set this to true, and of course now nothing works because there is no room yet in there, so we have no room data. So we can go here and define geometry, brep function, container, and then get multiple. I can select all these, and I can also hide them, don't need to see them, and I can have a custom display. This is what I want. Material, And here I can, for example, change the transparency. I don't really need that now, but sometimes it's useful. So I have this here, and now if I put this in here, let's see what happens. It actually gives me already an output. I didn't expect this. It's because I want to show you a bit more what you can do in between. We could actually keep that. That's pretty good, and we can compare the outputs. Let's say we want to keep this again. So we have this here. Let's delete this. We don't need that anymore. So we can compare this with that and see how it changes. So again, this is kilowatt hours per square meter for cooling, heating, lighting, electricity equipment, and gas equipment. If gas equipment is defined, which is here, it's not. But let's look into the rooms a bit more closely, because I think it's important, and we want to learn how to create windows and stuff like that. So at the moment we have just stacked boxes, and there is not much information going on. Honeybee just translated them to rooms. That's it. Yeah, so if we want to now, for example, understand how Honeybee understands this geometry, then we can open this tool here in Honeybee. Under Honeybee, the visualize by type. With that, we can plug our Honeybee objects in here, and it gives everything a color. And you can go here. We can actually use this. So if we don't want to see, let's can turn this off, and then only show. Yeah, I also turn. Not this. This doesn't have any visual representation, but this has. So maybe let's turn this off for now. So at the moment, yes, and we do one more thing. We can actually also use this tool is to visualize labels. So we can go here and put this in here, and then we have better. It shows the edges and also the rooms. So it counts just the rooms from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this tool here actually gives you, and let's kill this material. It shows you what is currently walls, and at the moment it counts the walls here twice. So we have the walls here from the big room, and then we have another wall basically clashing with the other room. Let's see what are interior rooms. There's no interior rooms, walls. What is considered a roof? So this is all considered a roof, which is a bit weird. That can't be. Ceilings, nothing is considered a ceiling. What is external floors? External floors, this is considered as the external floors. So there's things wrong at the moment. Internal floors, nothing. Air walls, there are no air walls. There are no apertures, no interior apertures, no doors, and so on. So we need to refine our model a bit. So at the moment it only shows these walls, and it shows the roof. That's it. So how can we refine this? So first of all, there is a tool. It's called. Oh wait, and now we build before we further refine this model. Let's create windows. There's a tool. It's called apertures by ratio. That's pretty handy. I will use that. And over time you can of course use others, but let's use this first. So you can plug in here the rooms again, and then I can create a ratio. So number. I don't need that. No, it just need to be a slider from. I just need a number slider which goes from 0 to 1 to show my ratio. And now you don't see anything here because at the moment we're looking at the rooms without the windows. So if I now put this here, you can see it created windows in all of these rooms, and I can change the ratio if I want. But yeah, you can see the problem is that it also creates windows here inside. I can add another. Wait, let's do it like this. I can also do this, of course. And I can also add this one. It gives you more information about the individual faces and not just the rooms. So, and I can here toggle the sub faces. What's going on? What's going on? And that gives me a better understanding of so it shows the edges of the windows and so on. And then I can also, of course, give this a color if I want. So I can, in that case, these are my apertures, and I can make them like this. And of course, I can change the color if I want. There's another way there's the way to refine this a bit more by using this tool here. This is the facade parameters tool. I can put this in here and decide this per face, so I can per side of the building. So for example, in that case, I can only have it on the north, and I can have different ratios on each side of the building. Oh, no. 0.5 here, 0.1 here, 0.6 north, too big, and so on. And it also does it here. The only problem is that it is a bit better. So the problem is that these rooms here, they're not attached to this building. They are separate, as if they have another set of windows here. So to get rid of this, we can use this tool here. Solve adjacencies between a series of Honeybee rooms. So that's pretty cool. So we can put this in here, and we need a toggle. Oh yeah, and I made a mistake. Now we solved the adjacency of the rooms. It tells us actually it solved the room 1 phase 5 adjacent to the room 2 and so on. So it understood that there's a problem with these rooms overlapping. Now it didn't solve the windows, because I need to put the windows after I run this adjacency tool. So actually this thing need to go here. So we need to first fix this, and then we create our windows. So put this here, and that was already right. We just need this here and this here, and now you will see that this will update. Yes, sorry, I need to do one more thing. That's why it didn't work. So yes, it recognized these adjacencies, but in order to really fix the problem, we need to do one step more, which is this one. We use this tool, the HB intersect solid. We need this first, then this. So basically what we do, we take the geometry, put it in here, and then go back in here. And we also need to run that. And that will solve the problem. Hopefully I can turn it off. Yes, now it works. So now you can see that it recognized that, first of all, these solids are intersecting, or they're touching, and then it solved on how these faces relate to each other. Now we can look again here. So let's turn this on. Let's hide this. Now we just preview off. Now we have these as walls. Now it recognizes these as interior walls. We also now it also understood what is ceiling. External floors, that's something I haven't really understood yet, but yes, they are external. They are the ground level floors. Are they external? Not really. But yeah, there's some question I have why this is. Anyway, it understands, okay, these are interior floors, and then there's another thing, it's called air walls. That's if you want to delete these inner walls, then you can go here and go to air boundary, and that will basically delete everything inside, all the walls inside. Don't want to use that, because it also deletes my floors. So for sure there's other ways to do it. Then maybe you need to do it like separately. You can play around with this, of course. Apertures and roof. So it only shows one roof and not, so it only shows these as roofs. So now the model is much more cleaned up. Yeah, so that's so far sorting the model. This tool is actually really just to look at the model. That doesn't really do any calculation. More about rooms. So you can give, of course, way more information to this model. So, for example, we can give it a name. Office. Now you can see it's also reflected automatically. What else can we add? Modifier set. This has something to do with radiance. We can go through that another time. Construction set. This is basically on how you can choose the construction set. There we would need to go through here. And then choose the construction set. I'm probably not the right person to talk too much about this. If you're an architect, you probably know more. And in order to choose, to select construction sets which are in here, here you can of course choose the basic construction set: wood frame, mass, metal building, steel framed. Let's choose that one. And then in order to select, I would recommend you install Human. This has a nice tool. It's called Item Selector. Climate zone. I don't know now the climate zone exactly which one is which, but let's just try something just as an example, and I can put this in here. And then you can do the same with the program. Here, the building program, for example, is let's say it's a medium size office, and then I can choose the search program, and I can do the same here. I can copy this and then choose what types the rooms are. It's an open office, and then I just place that in here. We can't really go directly into here because at the moment we look at rooms. So for simplicity, just for this tutorial, I just apply the open office type of program or type to all of these rooms, where in reality some of these might be different functions. But yeah, we can have a look at it another time, or you might just play around and figure out how that could work. But I just want to say that the selector, if you don't want to install Human, of course you can also go here into sets and get the list item and do this. Now it will give me no, it's okay. And then you just get a slider, a number slider. Then of course it depends what is how long this list is. I don't know. Corridor. I probably would need to look and to count what is what to get to the open office. But yeah, I think you get it. With the number I can choose the program. So, but yeah, Human is quite cool, quite interesting stuff in here. I should do some tutorial about this sometime. Adds a lot of functionality. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we can compare the model before and after. So basically after we added the glazing, and see what the changes are. So this currently is connected to the basic model, the basic rooms. And now with the glazing, I would then just connect this, and that will give me slightly different output. Slightly. Let's get rid of this. I want to see if there's a big change. That changes a lot, especially here. So again, that shows you that just doing a very, very simple model, you really need to know what you want to get out of that software. Then you can use it properly. So by me changing this construction set, it had a big impact on the output here. By the way, this is only a very rough energy load estimation. Oh yeah, we haven't. Let's check if this also makes a difference, if it's conditioned or not. So condition means has heating or no heating. Then this will also have an impact for sure. Yes, slightly. Anyway, so playing around with this for sure will help you to better understand. But again, if you use it, try to learn as much as possible so you know what you want to get out of the software. I think that's important. You need to have a goal in mind, and you have to really know what you want to calculate. Otherwise, you won't get anywhere. This is pretty much based on Chris Mackey's tutorials, just with the difference that is with the new Ladybug tools. But you realize I recommend watch his tutorials because he gives a even more deeper insight into the software, and you will see that it's not much difference. There's actually not the really big difference is that the rooms are called zones, but this is the big difference. Even some of the symbols are the same, and the methods are the same. For example, the adjacency solver is pretty much the same, and also how to create the windows is pretty much the same. So there's not much difference. Just the tools are all called a bit different. But yeah, it's really not much difference. Okay, see you next time, and good luck. And if you have a question, let me know.